Well, hello there, family. I didn't see you there. Family, let me begin with Merry Christmas to you. Family, as you know, we're roughly 9 days away from Christmas. So with that being said, the Crenshaws have decided to take just a tad bit of a holiday break. We still want to bring you content, though. So what we've decided to do is go back in our archives and kind of re-release some of our favorite episodes. We're going to begin with my favorite episode entitled 5 Love Languages. Do you know how to love? Do you know how to be loved? Let's find out. And family, welcome to our journey. And hello, America. Welcome to another episode of Crenshaw Corner. I am your host with the most, Sanchez Crenshaw.
And I'm
joined by my lovely, exquisite wife.
What's up, America? This is Angela Crenshaw, his exquisite wife.
Y'all
like that word? Y'all like it? Y'all like
it? I like exquisite.
Man, listen.
I learned that word the one day I paid attention in English class.
He laying on thick America's Valentine's Day, people. Happy Valentine's Day.
I'm just saying. And with that being said,
yes,
America, happy Love Day.
Happy Love Day. Happy Valentine's Day, America.
Happy Valentine's Day. So this is the day that America has set aside to be like, you know what? Show that person everything. And that you love them.
Yeah.
And that they're your one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to go with that.
So we decided to join in the fun.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're releasing our podcast on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day, that's
yes,
right.
We are.
So we want to say that we love you guys. Thank you so much.
So America,
for listening,
this is
man.
The Crenshaw's gift to you.
To gift to you guys.
There is no receipt, so you can't return it.
You can't return. You might want to return it after this podcast, but you can't return it. How about that? You're just not going to be able to. So, so listen. What's going on? Talk to me.
Nothing much.
All
Always
right.
good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you, my love.
I know you don't like this, but I do have to get some housekeeping out the way first.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I know. I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
So, America, this is hopefully not your first time joining us.
It better not be.
But if it is, we are an interactive podcast. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that we want to hear from you. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your views. We want your questions. Good feedback, not so good feedback. We welcome it all. Mm-hmm. Once again, we are new to the podcasting world, so we're always trying to improve.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we do have an email address. The email address is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner, all one word, @gmail.com. Please use it. Email us. My wonderful wife, she actually heads up our emailing group. We have a group.
We have an emailing group.
So you will get a response back from us, or at least from her, because I don't reply to emails.
Good gracious! First of all, I don't like when you do the housekeeping rules in the forefront of the game.
I'm saying though, but you put it out there first. You do the housekeeping.
You do that at the end.
You get it out there, so get it out the way, so we can get into the conversation.
End before we end it. But anywho, America.
I'm just saying.
Thank you. We've gotten emails.
We have gotten emails.
We've gotten emails. We've gotten questions. People are very interested in what we think.
That's kind of scary, but we don't go with that.
Really scary. But we just want to say thank you for you guys. We've got subscribers.
We do have subscribers.
So
subscribe.
Keep subscribing. Share.
Share.
Let people know about us and let them know that you bought a ticket to this journey.
Remember,
bless your heart.
You don't have to be a married couple to take this ride.
No.
We are open to everyone.
Everybody.
America, the doors are open.
The doors are open, America.
So now with that being said, it's Love Day.
It's Love Day.
So we're going to talk about love.
Come on, talk about love.
You want to talk about love?
Talk about love. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You want to sing now?
I was going to sing. Go ahead.
We want to talk about your singing days? You want to talk about your R&B singing days?
Panther used to sing.
Actually.
Don't do it.
Let's talk about your rap career.
No.
Go ahead, Zuki. Bust a rhyme for him, Zuki.
I don't think that I had.
Go ahead, Zuki.
I don't think I had any real good friends back then,
Zuki.
because for my rap name to be Zuki.
What was go ahead though. You had bars though, Zuki.
But I don't even remember. I only remember like. You
got a quick 16. Go ahead, Zuki.
I don't got a 16.
We not moving on, Zuki, till you hit a quick 16 for him, Zuki. Come on.
You've heard me. I only got one thing I remember.
America hasn't heard it, Zuki. Come on. Hit him with them bars, Zuki. Come on.
Okay, let me see if I remember.
You remember it.
I'm the Z to the O, the Key, the baddest female you can't deny. And you look in my eye, tell me what do you see? You see me rocking the MIC.
Go ahead,
What?
Zuki. Go ahead, Zuki. All
I
right.
can't believe you just did that. Oh my gosh.
I'm saying America needs to know all your talents.
Oh,
is what
wow.
I'm saying.
That's not a talent. I don't even think that was again. I didn't have friends. My MC name was Zuki. Where were my real friends?
I'm just saying.
Where were my real friends, people? Speaking about love, did you love me enough to say, girl, that ain't a good name? I'm just saying. I'm saying. Okay. Back to love. We off. Right. We off task. But so, go ahead.
The wonderful thing about love, everyone needs it, but unfortunately, not everyone understands it.
Yep.
There's so much when it comes to love.
Layers and
layers.
I love it.
Love is like an onion.
Yeah.
You just keep peeling back the layers and keep peeling back the layers, and sometimes it'll make you cry.
Yeah.
So, but talking about
but wait,
love,
but
what's up?
I just gonna go. Sometimes it makes you cry, but
because it does.
When you cook a good onion, you saute that bad boy and put it into food. If you do it just right, the flavor after all of that peeling and cutting is amazing. Come on now, it's amazing. I'm shout out to my onion lovers. But go ahead anyway. That's another love. See, that's the thing. But my onion lovers, what's up, my onion lovers?
But here's the thing about love. There's so many different variations of love.
And different people's thoughts about love.
love.
Yeah.
There's a mother's love. There's a father's love.
Yeah.
There's the love of a good movie. There's the love of a good book. There's the
love of a good ice cream that I can't have right now.
Love of a good ice cream.
Oh, I digress.
I mean, there's all different type of love.
Yeah.
And then there's the love between there was not between, but a love in a relationship.
Yeah.
And the different type of variations that love is.
Yeah.
So one of the most important ways to show love is through your communication.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, is that we all know that everyone really doesn't always know how to communicate. Mm-hmm. Because there's different ways of communicating.
Yeah, but listen to this. Not only do people don't know how to communicate, but people don't know that they actually are communicating without communicating with words, because I think sometimes people think that communicating is only using words. Your body language is a communication.
Those nonverbal
things are communicating, and those are some louder sometimes than words could ever possibly be. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And so I think that we need to make sure that we're clear on that too, as far as communication and what it is.
So what we're gonna do, America, today, we're gonna tackle a topic.
Yeah.
That's what we normally do.
We do it.
But we're going to do it just a little bit different now.
Go ahead.
So we're going to bring in kind of someone else's viewpoint.
Yeah.
As far as this particular topic.
Yeah.
And for those who have no idea what we're talking about, we are talking about the 5 love languages
by Gary Chapman.
Now, what we're not going to do is assume that everyone understands or knows what we're talking about.
They should go get the book, man.
Yeah, we're not going to assume that everyone's read the book. We're not going to assume that everyone's been through a class. So, babe, what I want you to do for me.
Ooh, okay.
Tell America, what are the 5 love languages?
All right. So, listen, I'm going to tell you first. Okay, let me just say this. I am so excited to do this because when me and Sanchez pick a topic, we throw it in the air and we leave it there. We can't discuss it.
We don't.
We can't allude to any answers or our feelings about it. We have to literally throw it up, shut the door, and don't deal with it, so that we can be fresh and authentic when we come to this mic.
Because it's not scripted, America.
Right. Nothing about us is scripted. It's whatever.
I think you can probably tell by now, America, this is not scripted at all.
It's not scripted, but just whatever we feel. So I'm so excited to see if he even knows what my love language is. People, very excited. So, and I'm excited to see if I'm right about what I believe to be your love language.
Okay.
So Gary Chapman says that the 5 love languages is acts of service.
Right.
He says quality time.
Okay.
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
Gifts and physical touch.
All right.
So what I'm gonna ask you to do is kind of like really quickly go through each one and kind of like get an overview of it. So before we get into my real question.
All right, cool. All right, so let's start with acts of service.
Okay, go ahead.
So acts of service is doing something for your partner without being prompted to do it.
Yeah.
So let's say simple things. Doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Doing the laundry. Taking your partner's car if you know it needs gas and go put gas in it.
Yeah.
Those are acts of service.
Yeah.
Because there are some people in this world who they go by your actions more than they do your words.
Yeah.
So it's when you do something for them, when you notice a need and you feel that need for them, your acts shows more or speaks more volume than your words. So that's act of service.
Yeah.
That's kind of a quick layman's view of what acts of service is.
And on the flip side of that, if you're a person who, that's the receiving side, but the
Right.
giving side is you're a person that you do that without thought, without anything, because you know that would help the person. It would be better for them. It would make it easier for them, like ironing clothes or bringing them breakfast or whatever. You know, you want to make that thing easier for them, and that's the way that you show your love, to that person as well. So I think that's the flip side of it.
Yeah,
as well.
because here's the thing about the 5 love languages. It's once again because it's a conversation. It's how you speak and how you're being spoken to.
Yes.
So
that's
you can
good, babe. You better speak it.
Every once in a while, I try to get
Go
deep.
ahead, get it.
So it could be that you're a person that the way you show love
right
is through acts of service. Or the flip side, the way you like to receive love
right
is through acts of service.
Exactly. So because we want to be clear.
Yeah, we want to be clear. Because
on
it works, and for all of them, it works the same way.
Exact way.
It's the giver and the receiver.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
And then we said quality time.
We did.
I think quality time, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's just taking that moment and being in the moment with your partner.
Yeah.
And once again, it's closing out the rest of the world and just finding something to do with your partner for that moment, whether it's just sitting on the couch together, whether it's washing the dishes together, whether it's finding something crazy to watch on television, but just being with each other uninterrupted with no other distractions coming in.
Come on now. Uninterrupted. I like that word.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go for it.
And then we have words of affirmation, which I love you. You're beautiful. You mean the world to me. Things like that. Words that's going to make your partner feel special, feel like they mean something to you. Yeah. That's going to be the words of affirmation.
But also speaking life into them, right?
Definitely. Ooh,
I think we're
going to touch on that too.
Speak life, right? Speak of their intellectual, because of course, because sometimes you're like, I love you, you're wonderful, you're beautiful. Okay. I'm talking like speaking life, like I see what you're doing and I appreciate it. You have an amazing gift and talent, things that you can say, to speak life into them, speaking to their gifts and talents, speaking to the things that they're doing, speaking to their business, speaking to their careers, speaking to their life. I think that's good as well. I mean, not good. I think that's fantastic to do as well. Yeah, fantabulous. I like that word. Fantabulous. I like to put
America,
fantastic.
We make up words, so
we
just
do.
deal with it.
We do.
And then you have gifts, which once again is self-explanatory. You're purchasing something. You bought your partner something. You've gotten them something that maybe they wouldn't get for themselves, or you saw something that you thought they would like, or to help them. Gifts. Yeah,
but gifts too. I'll say this is also to be thoughtful. Not just buy. I think because not just buy a gift.
Right.
But when you get the gift, you're thoughtful. You're really considering the person that you're buying it for. You considering your loved one, the person, and you're not just like, oh, this will just be a nice gift, but something that's going to bring memories, that's going to last, that's going to mean something.
That has a meaning to it.
That has a meaning behind it. That has meaning behind it. So yeah, I got it.
And then we have physical touch.
Yeah.
Which, once again, it's kind of self-explanatory. However, gentlemen, let me help you out on something.
Go ahead.
Physical touch.
You really didn't help good last week, though.
I did. I'm still waiting for the success stories.
Okay, because
there are some.
Okay.
There are some. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen to our first podcast. And I gave some advice to the gentleman.
He didn't.
That will work if it's done correctly. And I'm just waiting for some success stories, because it hasn't worked for me yet, but that's neither here nor there. But then, so, gentlemen, we talk about physical touch. Understand, physical touch has nothing to do with sexuality.
You better speak.
It has everything to do with security.
Come on, speak it, babe.
So a person whose love language is physical touch, it's not sexual for them. It's a caress of the face. It's a hold of the hand. It's a rub of the back of the head. It's a kiss on the forehead. It's a hug. It's a cuddle. It's that act makes them feel safe. It makes them feel secure. And if done right, it can lead into a sexual activity.
But it's not. That's not the goal.
That's not the primary goal.
Right. That's not
and
the
or
goal
focus
or intent. And whoever you're doing it to, not having them, making them feel that that's your intent.
Right.
Because then it's not going to be received well. You know. So you gotta
trust me, I made that mistake a long time ago. It's not going to be received well.
No. So physical touch. So yeah.
All right. So
I am ready, Mr. Crenshaw.
So once again, the 5 love languages.
You're always trying to delay the question.
I'm trying to keep us on track. So acts of service, quality time.
Okay.
Words of affirmation.
Got it.
Gifts and physical touch.
Got you.
Go ahead, Mrs. Crenshaw.
Mr. Crenshaw.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to see if I'm right. Okay. Ooh. Yes. What is your love language?
What is my love language?
Far as giving and receiving.
Okay. Now, understand, America, that when it comes to love languages, it's fluid. So your love language can and will change.
Yes, it will.
Because as people, we evolve.
That's right.
And that's one thing I think also couples seem to forget or they don't keep in mind, that I can't treat, I can't talk to, I can't be with today's version of Angela and treat her like yesterday's version of Angela because she's a different person now.
Or 10 years.
Or 10 years
Angela. Exactly.
So with that being said, so your love language, as you evolve, your love language does change.
Exactly, it does.
Now, so speaking for me, because she put me on the spot first.
Hello.
So my love language for receiving is quality time.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person where I just want to be with my wife. I just want her to be under me. She doesn't have to be. We don't have to talk
or do anything.
We don't have to be doing anything. I just want her in my presence. I just want her there.
Yeah.
I just want her, and that's me. That's, once again, this is our perspective.
No, this is just us.
This is how we do things. This is what works for us.
Don't be emailing crazy now.
So for me, just my wife being in my presence and there is the way I like to receive love.
Right.
Now, the way I like to give love is acts of service.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that I'd rather do something for you. So if I can help you, if I can do something. So, okay, one of the things for me and my older sister, I have an older sister. I adore her. Hey, sissy. Hope you're listening.
Oh my God! Did you just say sissy? Y'all, their relationship is off the chart. That's on my nerves.
That's my sissy.
Go ahead.
So, like, for my sissy, she's the type of person. She has people at her house. You know, she's a giver. She has a beautiful big heart, so she likes doing things for people.
She does. She's amazing.
And you know, like, we'll do family dinners, things like that. So for me, because I don't like really being involved in stuff like that,
he does.
Like, I'll disappear and I'll go do the kitchen, and I do that because I know my sissy. She spent all day getting things together. She spent all day cooking, make sure everybody's taken care of, make sure everybody's fed. So what I do for her,
too. She does it
because she's not gonna ask for help. She's not gonna say, you know, will you do this for me? Because that's just not who she is.
Right, exactly.
So what I do is just I go take it upon myself. I disappear and I go do the kitchen for her.
Yes, he does.
I get screamed on when I do it.
Yes, she does.
But I go do the kitchen for her. Because for me, if I can just do something for you, for me, that's showing you I love you.
Yeah, and I care about you.
And I care about you, and I just want to make sure you're okay. Yeah. So once again, for me, receiving my love language is quality time. Giving my love language is acts of service. So, Mrs. Crenshaw,
you
Zuki,
go ahead,
Zuki.
Yes.
So, what is your love language? What love language? Which I do speak English, America.
You sure? Because this is every time I turn around, this is what's happening with you. You all right?
It's what happened. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you sexy.
Okay.
And your beauty is throwing me off.
It's throwing you off. My God.
I'm just saying.
Well, keep fumbling with your words,
because
I hear you.
The light that's shining off of you right now.
No.
So what is what love language do you like to receive, and what love language do you give?
I give acts of service.
Okay.
Huge acts of service. I love to do that for our children. I love to do that for you. I love to do that for my friends. I just love to love on people, and I like to serve people. I like for people to feel good, you know. And if I see a need, I want to, and I know that I can fill that need, I'm going to do it. And I don't want anything in return. And that's nothing with acts of service. Not wanting anything in return. Not even really wanting to thank you. Just wanting the thanking part for me is that I can do it for you. I'm thankful and grateful that I can do it for you, and that I have the opportunity and the privilege to do it for you.
And
so it's an honor for me.
And that's the biggest thing with acts of service. The key word in that phrase is service.
Service.
Because you're serving someone. You're serving the person you care about.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything for your own personal gratification. No. You're not doing anything to look for a thank you.
Right, exactly.
To look for somebody to acknowledge you. You're doing it because you want to feel a need for that person. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. And I think I love to get words of affirmation. I think to get that. I love getting words of affirmation. I love to receive words that give me life. Right. And if whoever knows me know that words are very important to me.
They are.
And I really believe what the word of God says, that life and death is in the power of the tongue.
In the power of the tongue.
And so I love that people speak life into me, and I want to make sure that I speak life into them. So it is definitely affirmation. And even for me, sometimes it doesn't have to be you speaking life, but you're also, if there's a correction to be done, that you still correct me in a life-giving way.
In a loving way.
In a loving way that I know that you don't mean me any harm. So I don't want people going, you wonderful, you beautiful. If I need to be checked, check me. But in a loving and a kind way that still
Who gonna check you, boo?
Who gonna check me, boo? But
I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry.
But I know that you're doing it in a loving and kind way, that even after you do it, you still are speaking life and affirmation to me. Okay. So I think that's what is huge for me. Now, did you know that was my love language? What did you think my love language was, to be honest?
Ooh. Actually.
Go ahead.
Initially, I thought your love language was quality time.
It used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be. It did.
Initially, I thought it was quality time. Now, actually, I'm glad you posed that question, because America, now we're going to tie this all in. So we're talking about love language.
Yeah.
We've given you kind of a general idea of what love language is. I really would suggest that if you're serious about building your relationship or making it stronger,
absolutely,
I'd strongly suggest getting the book.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by
at all.
So this is not a sponsored section.
No,
we're not sponsored by Gary Chapman.
We're not getting paid.
We're not getting a percentage of the books.
Nothing.
However, it truly did help us.
It did help us. It did.
It helped our relationship. It helped our communication. And here's why.
Yeah.
Because to have a communication with someone, to have a conversation, you have to understand what's going on. Basic communication.
Yeah.
It's like if you speak one language. Communication 101.
Yeah.
It's like if you speak one language and you go to a foreign country that you do not know the language and you try to have a conversation with someone, everybody's lost. You have no idea what's going on. And that's what happens when you don't know your partner's love language.
But here's the thing about that too. But if you pay attention, if you're in another country, and you pay attention, because the greatest thing is love for us, the hand movement, the intensity sometimes.
Context clues.
Context clues are given that you be like, I think. Because you ever, somebody speaks Spanish and you be like, I think you trying to.
They do it all the time because they think I'm Puerto Rican. They do it all the time.
Is it Puerto Rican? I thought it was Dominican.
I've been called Dominican. I've been called Puerto Rican. I've been called Samoan.
Yeah. Your name is Sanchez.
It is Sanchez.
And actually, the crazy part about it, his name is not Sanchez. How do you say your name?
Sanchez.
Say it again.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, not Sanchez.
Not sign.
Not. I like the way I said it.
Not sign. It's Sanchez.
Say it again.
Sanchez.
I like when you say it.
Thank you very much.
But because
I don't know how we got there.
Because people don't know how to say his name properly, he just goes Sanchez. So actually, the only people can actually say your name, huh?
My mother called me Sammy.
Your mommy called you Sammy. The only people who can actually say your name correctly is people that are British. Jules.
Yeah.
Karis.
Actually, no. Actually, Latin people say my name correctly.
Do they really?
They really do. Because it's Latin.
Well, this is true. I've never heard a Latin person say your name, so that's.
And if I'm being disrespectful to Latin people right now, I apologize. It's not my.
We're not. We're just saying that as far as his name is concerned, these are the
how
people
we get here.
We're gonna because I love you. I love your name. We're just gonna go wherever we want to.
Context clues.
Context clues.
Five love languages.
5 love languages. So even that, if you go to Africa or any other country, the language, but the body language. Right? Sometimes the nonverbals are so strong that you can completely understand what they're saying without knowing the actual words sometimes. So that means that you have to be doing what? Paying attention.
And here's the thing. So here's why it's so important to know your partner's love language. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is this. Like, we're always going to use each other for our examples. Absolutely. Because that's the life we live. So earlier on in our marriage, my wife and I, even though we talked a lot, but most of the time we were talking at each other and not talking to each other.
Come on now, tell the truth.
Because we were not speaking the same language.
Yeah.
We were both speaking English.
Yeah.
But the interpretation of what we were saying was so different. Because in the earlier part of our marriage, I didn't understand how my wife wanted to be loved. And she didn't understand how I wanted to be loved. Like, one of the biggest problems we had in our first part of our marriage, because my wife, her love language giving is acts of service. So she's the type of person. So she ironed my clothes. She's always
packing his lunch.
She's packing my lunch. She's always washing dishes. She's always cleaning. Something is always dusty. Something's always dirty. She's always finding something to clean.
Because I always wanted you to come to a house that was clean and a house. I want the kids to always come to a house that was clean and that whatever they needed was available to them without clutter. And that's just how my makeup was.
Yeah.
And
because I didn't understand your love language, I mistook that.
Come on now.
I actually really can't speak English.
Come on.
I mistook that for just being
busy.
OCD.
And busy.
And being busy. Not knowing how to sit down.
Yeah. That was your favorite line.
That was my favorite line.
Sit down somewhere.
I would say something else.
You didn't say it like that, but
this is a Christian podcast.
It's a Christian podcast. Amen.
So we're gonna keep it clean. We're gonna
Amen. Amen.
But so because because she was doing those acts of service and her thinking that's how she shows her love to me, and me thinking, what are you doing?
Right.
I just want you to spend time with me.
Right.
So you're doing all these things. You're doing all this cleaning for me, but I didn't know it was for me. I just thought it was for you because I just thought you were a neat freak. So we used to have these.
Thank you.
I'm just saying. So we used to have these unnecessary arguments.
Yeah.
Over you simply trying to show me love.
So you love. And I think for you, it was difficult on my end why we had a lot of arguments because you would be like, go sit down somewhere or babe, sit down or rest. And I'm like, I'm not tired. You'd be like, well, sit down anyway. And I think that because at that point you wanted me to spend time with you.
I did.
And for me, I felt like because you're such a quiet person and you like being by yourself, that while I'm doing that, you would be okay to be by yourself,
But here's the crazy part, though.
I
wanted to be by myself with you.
Ain't that weird?
It makes sense.
It makes sense to you, though.
It makes sense to me.
It makes sense.
I wanted to be left alone, and I wanted to be by myself, but I wanted you in the room beside me.
How was that working out?
It made sense to me.
It made sense,
and you should have understood that.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a smart girl, not. But anyway, but that was then, and then we grew, and we grew, and we grew, and it changed, and sometimes it stayed the same. So my love languages stayed the same. And then we grew because at one point I thought that your love language was physical touch.
Okay, I can see that.
Because he would always come behind me, he would rub my shoulders, and we're sitting somewhere, even now to this day, we could be in church and we could be praising the Lord, and out of nowhere he'll just start rubbing my head or rubbing my neck or whatever the case is. So I always thought it was touch. So I'm kind of surprised that you didn't say that it was touch because you do that all the time.
But I don't do it for me.
Okay.
I do it for you.
You do it for me.
I do it for you.
Why do you think I need that?
Because I know that that's comforting to you.
It is.
I know that me, and not trying to toot my own horn, not saying I'm anything, miraculous or anything like that, but I know that me touching my wife, me rubbing my wife's head, or me holding her hand, or me rubbing her shoulders, or me rubbing the back of her neck, I know that's very comforting.
It is
to you.
It is, especially if I'm going through something.
Yeah, and so I know if you're thinking too much, or if the wheels are turning too much, or if life is coming at you a little too hard, then I do that for you.
Yeah,
and I'll touch you and I'll rub your head, because if you ever notice, I do it when you're stressed. I do it more when you're stressed.
Yeah, this is true.
Even if you don't tell me you're stressed.
Yeah.
It's when I do it more.
You're doing
or
it more.
If I like you said in church, if I know that you're struggling with something.
Right.
You're at that stage of you're giving it to God, but you're still kind of holding on to it.
Right.
Like most of us do, then I really will. I'll rub your head, or I'll hold your hand, or I'll rub your back, or put my hand on your back, just so you know I'm there and you're not going through it alone.
And the crazy part about this, like, again, this is not anything that we script. I never knew that. I always thought that was for you. I'm being honest. I never thought that until you just said it and this light bulb went off and I ran through my mind of all the times that you do it. Absolutely. But I always thought it was for you, because I thought that your love language was touch. I didn't know that you were doing that to make sure that I was okay. Honestly, I just was like, that's why when I was like, I knew I had these 5 love languages. I know touch is his thing, So, but now I understand.
Yeah. Because actually, I'm a hugger, but I'm not really a touchy-feely person. Because if you go back and kind of look at different things and aspects of me, I'm a hugger. I do love to hug. I do that. But as far as like touchy-feely, I'm not really a touchy-feely dude.
But you've been doing it for so long, but now I understand. Because if we hadn't had this conversation, and let's say we were in front of other people, company, I'd been like, no, babe, I beg to differ. Because of what I've experienced with you, because we never really have discussed why you do that, which is weird that we've never ever discussed it. Like, baby, you always, it was like you said, it's soothing, it calms me down, it brings my vibration down, it helps me feel secure and feel, like you said, that I'm not doing whatever I'm dealing with by myself. And so I want to say on the air, I appreciate that. I love you for that, because honestly, I'm glad we're having this talk, because I really didn't know. I honestly thought that was really for you.
Yeah, it really has. It honestly has nothing to do with me. I would be okay.
Gotcha.
It's okay. Kind of transparency, like we always talked about.
Yeah.
So earlier part of our relationship, when we first got together, one of the things my wife would do, which I always found, it was annoying yet cute all at the same time.
I'm almost scared, but go ahead.
My wife would hide under my shirt.
I would.
So like if we're standing there, she would just come hug me, but then she would take my shirt, lift it up, and then she would go under my shirt. I would
go under the shirt
and pull my shirt down over her
and just stay there.
And she would just stay there. Or
I just stay there.
We're laying in the bed and we're watching television or something. All of a sudden, she'll just do that. She'll go under my shirt and she'll just lay there.
I just lay there.
And it took me a minute to realize what was going on, but I was her safe place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so and she can't always go under my shirt. We can't be in church. And she's like a turtle.
Hold on, babe. I'm getting up under the shirt now. Unbutton your shirt, please.
We really can't do that in public without people looking at us like we're strange and weird.
Like, what in the heck?
So I just kind of took that in a different way, a smaller version of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I rub your head, or that's why I hold your shoulders, or I'll rub your back. Okay. Getting a little too personal right now, but I guess in this kind of setting, it's nothing that's really too personal.
It's love.
My wife is a soldier. My wife has been through a lot of different adversities throughout her life, from a small child through her adulthood, but she's a soldier. But with that, she's always had to be that one. My wife is the one that no one. Okay, and when I say this, hear what I'm saying and what I'm not saying.
I'm listening.
No one ever thinks to ask my wife, how is she doing? No one ever thinks to just call her and say, do you need to vent? What's going on in your life? Is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah.
Most people in her life don't really do that.
Yeah.
What they do is that
we have a handful, but
but
the bigger scope of it.
The bigger scope of it.
No.
And so what happens is it's 9 times out of 10 it's I need you to do something for me. Ange, I'm going through this. I need your advice. Or I'm going through this.
Yeah.
I need to vent. Or I'm going through this. Can you help?
Right.
So knowing that. So what I do is that I never want you to think that you're alone.
Gotcha.
In this. And I never want you to think that no one is there to prop you up.
Yeah.
Or to pour into you.
Right.
So as my act of service to you, I rub your head.
Yeah.
I rub your shoulders.
Right.
I hold your back.
Right.
Just so you know you have somebody there that you don't always have to be the soldier. You know, you don't always have to be the Marine going into the battle first.
And I think too that's why my love language too is affirmation. Because it's important. That you hear that. Right. That you speak life into people who are soldiers out there. It's a whole bunch of men and women out here that are just straight soldiers, you know. And that's just an analogy. So, you know, guys, and the battle of life is what we're speaking about right now.
I'm sorry, just for a minute. No disrespect to our military brothers and sisters who are out there right now
in the battle, in the
literally
trenches.
In a trench, in a battle, putting their life on the line for our values, our country, what we believe in, what we stand for. So when we use the analogy as a soldier or in the battle, you know, we are not negating that aspect of it. Just wanted to say that, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, because we have a whole bunch of family in the military.
Yes, I do.
We would hate phone calls coming.
Seriously.
Left and right. But anyway, but it's just so I just know how words are so powerful. And so words of affirmation can change someone's life. And I love to be able to change someone's life by what I say to them. Right. So I'm mindful and I'm thoughtful. But it also, I'm mindful and thoughtful where I shut the door to people speaking to me. Because if you talk to me a certain way, because I do love affirmation, or you coming at me in a way with words, then there's a door. There's a door because I do know the power of the words. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, and again, guys, here's the thing. Now you may talk to us 5 years from now, and gift is now my new thing.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying? Or 5 years from now, and I'm like, you know what? Affirmation used to be, but now this is, you know? It's because things happen so fast and it changes. But I believe
life moves quickly.
Life moves quickly, but I do believe, honestly, that you will always have one core. Because it's going to flip-flop, but you will always have one core, this is my opinion, that will always be there at the root of it. You know what I'm saying? At the root. And I think at the root of me giving and receiving, it will always be acts of service.
I can see that.
It will always be acts of service.
That's your heart. You have a serving heart.
Yeah. So how about you? It's going to always flip-flop, but at the core, if you have you know at your core, you really are what?
My core? Mm-hmm. I think, it's going to be acts of service is my core.
Yeah.
Because I'm hard to read. Because I'm not always going to smile. I'm not always going to.
You never
I do smile.
Babe. Okay, honey.
But
you don't smile. You be telling me. I said, baby, you smile. I'm like, yes, I'm smiling. It's my resting face.
Well, yeah, most of the time I got a resting face.
Whatever.
But with my acts of service, that is my way of showing.
Yeah.
That I do care about you, even though I may not say it all the time, even though my face may not say it, but you know me, I'm a huge believer in action speaks so much louder than words anyway. But I think my core will always be acts of service as well.
I think so, acts of service.
I think that's why we get along as well.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we both have servants' hearts.
Yeah, and plus we serve together all the time. We serve at church together.
Yeah.
We serve people. We've helped people move.
Ooh,
I mean,
we ain't gonna talk about that. That's why you got plates.
We serve a lot, and so we serve our children. We serve our parents as they're getting older. I mean, there's a lot we serve at work. So there's a lot of things that, like you said, that we're like that we serve, and we're okay with it. So here's what we want you guys to do for us. Email us, please, or go to Crenshaw Corner on Instagram.
Yes.
And tell us what your love language is. I am very interested. And if you could just give us a blurb of why that is your love language. A blurb of why that is your love language. Especially if I know you, because I'm very interested in seeing when I look at your name, can I say what I think your love language is before you actually say, before I actually read what your love language is. And go to the Crenshaw Corner on Instagram, people.
Yeah. And once again, the email address is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. The Crenshaw Corner, all one word, @gmail.com.
Yeah.
We really would love to hear about what is your love language.
Your love language.
I'm like my wife. I'm curious.
I'm curious about it.
First of all, I'm curious to know, have you even thought about what your love language is? So not even so much as knowing what it is. Have you even ever thought about it? Has the thought ever crossed your mind? Have you thought about how you like to receive love
and how you giving it out?
And how you give it out.
Yeah.
Now here's one thing. Anyone who
that kind of sound weird though, and how you giving it out. But okay, let's go with it.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, carry on.
We're gonna move on from that.
I digress.
I love quotes.
Yes, you do.
I'm a huge quoter. One of my favorite quotes of all time is Mike Tyson, where he says, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth."
Okay, baby. How does that equate to the love?
I'm gonna go.
Love.
I'm maneuvering.
We came on saying Happy Love Day.
I'm maneuvering.
Now we punch it in the face.
I'm just saying.
Okay, go ahead.
That and my second favorite quote of all time, it's Master Yoda: "Do or do not. There is no try."
You so deep today.
2 mottos I live by.
You did.
I do.
Wait, you made me cough. Okay.
You okay?
I'm sorry.
But
I thought you was gonna have like a love quote, babe. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that is love.
You out here.
That is love.
Violent. Okay.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Okay, carry on.
Love or do not love. There is no try to love.
You trying to be?
See what I'm saying?
You see me?
Because I'm about to tie this in.
To tie it. Come on, bring it. Come on before we close. Come on,
well,
snap
we're
it.
closing. We still got time. Stop trying to wrap me up all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap you up. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. And I'm kind of talking to my men right now, where in certain aspects we always say, well, I'm trying to love my wife, or I'm trying to show her this, or I'm trying to do this for her. I go back to Master Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. A lot of the times when you're trying to do something for your spouse, or you're trying to do something for your partner, it's because you haven't taken the time to find out how do they like be talked to, how do they like being spoken to,
or not even that, but you're trying. But here's the thing: wanting nothing in return, because when you do, you don't want anything in return. A lot of times, the whole trying aspect is you trying and to see if you can get a rise out of someone so they can tell you that you're doing well. Yeah. And that's not that doesn't work.
That, and also I think a lot of people, this men and women, I think a lot of people do the spaghetti test when it comes to relationships. Here's what I mean by that. One of the old methods of when you making spaghetti, when you're boiling spaghetti, you want to see if it's done. One of the old methods is you take a piece of spaghetti and you throw it against the wall and you see if it stick.
Now let me tell you something, baby. You throw some spaghetti on my wall.
But I'm saying
this ain't even Valentine's Day no more.
I'm just saying old Italian grandmothers. I'm saying
because you done put oil on my wall.
Old Italian grandmothers, that's how they used to do it, and they used to take their bare hand and stick it in the pot of boiling water and just throw. Anyway, go ahead, digress. But that's what they do. That's how you do. So spaghetti test. Take a piece of spaghetti, throw it against the wall, you see if it sticks. And what happens is a lot of people do that in relationships because they don't know what to do. They just trying all kind of different things and they throwing all kind of things against the wall to see what sticks.
But why not just?
Can I finish my thought though?
Oh, because you ain't got quiet.
I breathed.
Okay, go ahead.
That's all I did. I didn't really.
Go ahead.
I breathed for like half a second.
Go ahead. Carry on.
So what happens is because they're throwing all these different things against the wall to see what it sticks, and they're trying all these different ways, because a lot of the times it's hard to just sit down and actually have a conversation as Faye, Ange, how do you want to be talked to? What am I doing? Kind of going back to my corporate America days as well. One of the things, I'm a manager, is what I do by trade. So one of the questions I always ask my team is, what am I doing to hurt you? What am I doing to help you? And I think if in a relationship, if you sit down and you earnestly ask those questions, if you ask your partner, what am I doing that helps you? What am I doing that hurts you? And when you get that response, don't take any of it personal. So the things that you're doing that's hurting, don't take it personal when they tell you.
But this is the thing too, babe, because I understand what you're saying, but also let's take a look at this. Sometimes you can say that and they don't know. So I think sometimes you just got to study that person. Because sometimes you can ask that person, like, talk to me, and they don't really know. Because sometimes you got to know because you got to know you love yourself enough to and evaluate yourself enough and get comfortable with who you are to be able to answer those kind of questions. So sometimes there's no question to be asked. You got to study to show thyself approved. I think you got to study the person that
look at you over there, girl.
I know scripture now.
Being all biblical.
But listen, you got to study some people sometimes. And I say this because with you, I used to be like, babe, what you want, what you need, and you'd be like, to be honest, Angie, I don't know. I'm okay, blah, 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 blah. But once I began to study you and watch you in silence, I was able to watch you and see how you maneuver. It began to tell me things about you that I wouldn't necessarily know, because sometimes you can't talk your way through this stuff.
Sound like you was stalking me.
I could have been. I'm your wife. I stalk you all day. But look, you sit down and you watch that person, because sometimes some people who say they don't have an answer truly don't have an answer because they don't want to delve in. Because if we're going to truly talk about love, right? Not only love in a relationship, but love for yourself, right? And so that's a huge thing, that when you start loving yourself and start studying yourself, so when people ask you those questions, you have the capability at that point to be able to answer those questions. And this is for people who are dating right now or thinking about dating. Here, let me just give you a little bit of help. Study yourself. Know what you like and what you don't like. So when someone comes into your life, you're not wasting their time. Because if they're doing something that you don't like, go ahead and shut the door then. Don't waste time.
One of the things you used to say a long time ago, I used to say to single women or your young girls. Once again, for those who don't know, my wife is a motivational speaker. So she's a life coach. So she's had girl groups over the years. She's had women groups over the years. Yeah. And one of the questions she used to ask the women, it's the single women, right now, would you date you?
Yeah, would you date and would you marry yourself?
You, or would you marry you right now?
And if the answer is no, don't be trying to get no man. Do not be trying to get no man. That's so hood. Don't be trying out there to get no man if you wouldn't even date yourself. And I always ask them that, because do you know you? Because I remember everybody saying, well, he need to bring something to the table. Baby, what are you bringing to the table? We all need to bring something to the table. But what I want you to bring the most to the table is love for yourself.
Right.
Love for yourself.
And I think on Love Day, on International Love Day.
On Love Day, Heart Day.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest takeaway or biggest piece of advice that we can offer
right now. Self-love.
Whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you're trying to get married, whether you just got out of a relationship, whatever dynamic you're in right now, the very first thing you have to do is love yourself.
Love you.
You have to know you. Yeah. Because tying back into the love languages is that for me to love my wife, truly love my wife, I have to truly love myself first. Because there's no way I can love her if I don't love me. Yeah. It's the same. Once again, I'm an analogy person. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. Because I was just thinking about when you just said that.
Go ahead.
And expecting someone to love you a certain type of way when you don't even know when that certain type of way is.
Yeah. I'm going to quote you again. I love quoting my wife. I'm going to quote you again. One of the things my wife has said in the past is that, okay, we both are analogy people. So it's, you go to the store, you buy a new piece of electronic. You buy, I'm going to age myself a little bit, but you buy a DVD player.
Oh, look, gee.
I don't even know if they make DVDs
Make
anymore.
DVDs?
I don't know.
Go ahead, go
you
for it.
Stream everything now.
Go ahead.
But you go to the store, you buy a DVD player. You open it up. The very first thing you see in that box is the owner's manual.
Yep.
When you open that owner's manual, it tells you A to Z. How to do this product, how to work this product, what works for this product, what doesn't. How to keep this product going, how to break it. It gives you everything you need to know.
And how to treat the product.
How to treat
the product.
But as people, we don't do that.
No.
We get into a relationship and we never give that person our owner's manual.
Because we think it's like you know, not trying to talk about my husband, but I am. He has a tendency, we buy stuff that needs to be put together. He lays all the screws out. He lays everything out. And then he starts. And I go, babe, you going to read the instruction? He's like, nah, I got this. It's like that.
Because I do.
Uh-huh. Okay. Sooner or later, you got to get them instructions, people. Because after he gets frustrated, and that's what happens in the relationships. After you've laid everything out, and now you're frustrated because you're not putting it together properly, and you want to know why it's shaky and it's raggedy, because you didn't read the manual instructions. But if the box came with no instructions, you still winging it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
So you have to know for yourself. That's why I say self-love is so important. So you know what your line is in a relationship. What you will and will not take. What can be said to you and cannot be said to you. You need to know those dynamics. You need to know what triggers you to get angry. What triggers you to get your feelings hurt. What triggers you to lash out at people. And it's difficult. It takes time. Even now at our age group, we're still learning ourselves. But the point is to learn yourself and love yourself enough to give yourself grace. Love yourself enough to give yourself love. Love yourself enough to go find you some peace. You know, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, that we're talking about.
And one of the things you said as well that I love when you said it, it's know your line.
Yeah.
Because what happens and the key point of that is to know your line.
That's right.
Don't compare your line to someone else's line.
Exactly.
Because your line is not your mother's line.
Yeah.
It's not your auntie's line.
Yeah.
It's not your father's line. It's not your best friend's line.
Yeah.
Your line is your line.
And I think they need to know too. When we say your line, we mean your line of tolerance.
Yeah, your tolerance line.
The line that does not move.
What is your breaking point?
Right.
What is, okay, if you do this, we're done.
We're done.
If you do this thing,
we're done. And not moving the line.
Yeah, and not moving the line. Okay, well, you did it once, but if you do it again, then so it's knowing your line, and you said it best, is that self-love thing. So it's knowing the self-love, it's knowing who you are, it's knowing how you want to be loved, and then once you know how you want to be loved, teaching your partner how to love you.
And that's where the real love comes in at. When I'm teaching you and showing you how to love me, I'm giving you directions, because now I know, and I think that's the key. And then that person, that give and take again from the 5 love languages, now that person wants to love you that way, wants to be able to do that for you. And they want to do that. And then you walk hand in hand on that thing, you know? And I think that, but it comes with self-love and then loving the other person enough to want to listen and watch, you know? It's just so many dynamics to it to make it good for you, you know, to make it fantastic for you.
So
I know we went all over the place tonight. We did.
But we stayed in the pocket of love, though.
We stayed in the pocket of love.
I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Let's stay in the pocket of love. Let's stay in the pocket of love.
We all in the pocket. We in the pocket. We in the pocket.
Here's my final question.
Go ahead. Go for it. You always talk about some final question and you come back with another one, bro.
No, for real. I just got one.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, for you, how would you define love?
How would I define love?
How would you define love for you? How would you define
it? For me personally.
For you personally.
Giving and receiving? Or receiving?
Receiving.
Love?
Let's go receiving.
Love to me is someone that's taking the time to know me. Like legitimately taking the time to know me. Listening to me, paying attention to me, studying me, understanding me, you know, giving me some grace when I make mistakes, loving me unconditionally. And we like to throw that around a lot, but I'll digress from that unconditional thing.
Right.
But someone who will go with me through the trenches, you know, that good, the bad, and the ugly, you know, and check me when I need to be checked. It's such a big facet for me of what love means to me.
Right.
Because love means so many different things to me depending on what relationship that I'm in. Does that make sense?
It does.
But the core of it is unconditional. Okay. The core of it for me is getting to know who I am and respecting that part of me and giving me grace when I make mistakes and stuff like that. That for me is huge. What I think love is now, for me.
Now, America, here's why I asked that question to my wife, Because America, I need you to ask that question to yourself. I need you to define for you what love means to you. Because if you don't know what love is to you, there's no way that you can properly give love, and there's no way you can properly receive love if you don't understand the concept of love for yourself.
Yeah.
So, America?
Yes, guys.
It's Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. I think we were deep. We were high. We were low. I don't know where we were.
I don't know if we were high. Don't say that. It's high. It's not legal in all counties, in all states right now.
You know what I mean.
I'm
you
just
know
saying.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, man.
But America, on this Love Day, we wish you love.
Yeah, we hope we gave you food for thought.
We say Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Love Day, people.
And America,
Yes.
welcome to our journey.
Welcome, guys. Love you. Mean it.